through this whole issue that's been transpiring over the last several days, like most people, I've felt, okay, how do I help? What do I do? And we're so, all of us, our hands are tied, whether it's geographical, we can't even, it's not like New Orleans where you could literally go down. I know many people, I didn't feel called to go to New Orleans, but many people I know did, and you could do that. And you can get in through the DR, the Dominican Republic, and make your way and so forth, but I've really been called to say, what can we do that's a little unique, that may gain some traction, that will be lasting? And what I mean by that is, look, I'm no idiot. I know that we're raising money to buy jars of peanut butter, literally 28-ounce jars of peanut butter. And physically, if you think about that, what will happen is we'll run this drive through the end of February. So right there, it's not like a jar of peanut butter is going to feed a family tomorrow, okay? Right. So people have to understand that. But what it is, again, it's some long-term or longer-term planning and vision, and we'll literally get the peanut butter. We'll take it over to the mission that we're affiliated. My wife and I have done work with several times. We support people through that mission. They're there. We've spoken to them. We'll literally observe the peanut butter going on a container that will make its way down to Miami and then make its way down to Haiti. And then I know for a fact that this peanut butter will literally go into the missionaries' hands and it will go to the people of Haiti. Now, what's the big deal with peanut butter and why peanut butter, okay? One of the first trips I went on to Haiti was after a traumatic hurricane. And several months had passed, but, sometimes it takes that long when there's not a hurricane to get things in the country. I mean, it's a bottleneck and a nightmare regardless. And I'll never forget going down with the then director of the organization to pick up some stuff from it was Port-au-Paix, which is in the northwest part of the country. And we were in a smaller section called St. Louis Denard, and we had moved over to Port-au-Paix. We went down to the dock to get this, containers and so forth. And he opened one of these boxes up, and I'm sure people had taken great care and really wanted to have their hearts in it, and they had packed blankets and food and all these things that people would need after a hurricane. Well, everything, Matt, almost every little piece of material in there was damaged, whether it was wet, rotten, it was, you name it. I mean, it couldn't be used. It was not worthy to be used. Yep. And what was in there was a 16, I think it was 16, like you'd buy a package of individual peanut butters. Right. And he picked them up and he looked at me and he said, if people knew they could just send peanut butter, it'd make our lives a lot easier. And I looked at him and I said, I thought he was joking. I was like, peanut butter, what do you mean? And he said, well, sure. He said, it's packed with protein. It can sit in the docks for months. It's not going to be ruined. You can drop it on the ground. You can let it go in the water. He says, and it's going to feed a family for several days. And that stuck with me. And, just a little, thing like that, you think, gosh, that's pretty profound. So when this happened, I was talking to a friend. I didn't ever have in the back of my mind, when this happens, I'll have a peanut butter drive. I was talking to a friend of mine from New Jersey, and his children wanted to do something. And he was communicating with me because he'd known I'd been in there, and he said, what can my kids do? They want to sell their toys. They want to raise money. And I thought about the kids and I said, well, they should have a peanut butter drive. And of course he thought I was nuts. He said, what do you mean a peanut butter drive? And so then I explained it to him. And as I was talking about it, I said, this is a no-brainer. We need to do this. And so that's how it was born. Where it goes from here, I don't know. It's probably one of the most organic things I've ever done in my life, quite honestly.
I love it, and it makes sense from so many levels. Like you said, the consumption, it's a protein source, fat source. It can sustain you for a long time. I mean, a lot of people. I mean, I remember a movie, The Tao of Steve, where the guy went on the peanut butter diet. It was a funny movie, but it's true. I mean, you can live and sustain yourself for a long time with the nutrients that come from peanuts. So let me ask you, how do we participate? How do our viewers participate?
Sure. And I want to add one more thing too, which is a lot of people don't understand what's physically going on in the country right now. It's almost like refugees. The people of the city, Haiti is like a reverse C. It's on the other end of, obviously, the Dominican Republic. And Port-au-Prince is right here, like where my thumb is jointed into my hand. What's happening right now, literally, is thousands of people are making their way up the country to the other parts that aren't as devastated by the earthquake.
Right.
And in those different parts of the country are various different mission relief efforts and organizations. For example, the organization that we partner with is in the northwest part of the country. They are already starting to be overrun with people that are sapping their medical supplies, their food, you name it. So my goal is once this gets down there, again, as you've already alluded to, it's just a longer term thing to help people sort of, get back on their feet. I mean, to the extent that they get back on their feet in Haiti, which already is, again, is already a challenge. As it stands right now, people can go to PB for Haiti. So it's peanut butter, PB4Haiti.com.
PB4Haiti.com.
Now, PB4Haiti.com. As we are communicating right now at 3 o'clock Eastern on Monday, that will take them to my personal blog where they'll be able to order peanut butter. But 2 people have already stepped up. The power of social networking is amazing to me because not only have we already sold 1,000 jars of peanut butter in the first 24 hours, but 2 people have stepped up to both develop a new blog for it, so there will be an actual blog, and then someone stepped up to develop the graphics. So the blog is already done, the graphics are being put in, so it should have its own site, hopefully within the next 12 to 24 hours, which I'm pretty excited about. And I'll just, it's going to be a fun and exciting sort of event because what I intend on doing, I've made, initially you think of these ideas and you think to yourself, okay, I'm going to call Smuckers and I'm going to talk to the people at Jif. And I've done all that, and, you run into dead end and dead end. I mean, I started in the business cold calling as a broker, so I'm very familiar with cold calling. But, I could sell stock to an Eskimo easier than I can get somebody to give me a discount on peanut butter. So as it stands right now.
So we'll take it into our hands and do it ourselves. Like you said, social media is powerful, and we'll deliver the peanut butter with discount or not. And you know what?
Exactly.
We'll give the credit to the peanuts themselves and to the greater being, whatever you want to call it. And I think this is a great.
That's exactly right.
I think this is a great reach out, and I appreciate people like you taking the initiative because it will gain continued momentum. And again, www.pb4haiti.com.